Let's head over to Heather now. She's got a look at your Contrada Law Time Saver traffic.
Well, drivers on the east side of Toledo are seeing this here on Front Street. And so far this morning, we're not tracking any major issues out there, but keep in mind you could see some slowdowns here because of some construction through 6 o'clock this morning.
Let's get right over to Heather Pollauf. She's got a Contrada Law Time Saver traffic.
Yeah, and this closure is going to have drivers detouring all day long. That's according to Toledo Police. All of this happening in the northbound lanes of I-75 right near Phillips. We have a truck that went over the median, actually sitting there on top of the median right now. So we're okay.
Show us your sweater, Heather.
Let's go bring in Heather. She's tracking that forecast for us on this holiday weekend. Hey, Heather.
Yeah, the traffic forecast. We're expecting thousands of people to be in downtown for the 4th and the 419 tonight. So if you've ever been to the fireworks in downtown Toledo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, these are restrictions, and they started at noon and affect the stretch of the turnpike between, say, Archbold and to Cleveland in both directions. So what this means essentially is that certain high-profile vehicles are not allowed on the turnpike because of the danger posed by those high winds. Drivers in Maumee and Perrysburg are going to be detouring around a bridge closure tonight. All of this for the fireworks display. So keep it, sheets of ice out there. So use some extra caution heading out the door. This is I-75. So you've got one lane in each direction. And so you've got a lot of backups here. As you can see behind me, all of this traffic nonstop coming off of that interstate. And again, that's going to be shut down for quite a while today. Let's check in with Heather.
Yeah, were you born yet, Heather?
I was 2.
All right.
I was 2. She was born. But I was here. I was 2, but I was around.
It was hot,
okay?
remember?
For now, we're going to send things inside to Heather with your Contrada Law Time Saver traffic.
Yeah, and that closure is going to send drivers out of their way this morning. So you want to avoid, again, northbound I-280 right at the Greenbelt Parkway. They say that they're giving the salt another half hour or so to work. So they've got the salt back down on the roadway. They're working to get some of that ice melted so that it is safe for drivers. But with the frigid temperatures, it's taken a very long time for that salt to work on the ice that you saw on the street behind me here. So about another half hour and we will have Summit Street back open for drivers here in Point Place. That's a check your Contrada Law Time Saver traffic. Here, we've been dealing with construction in this area for probably over a year now on Bancroft, right in front of the University of Toledo. So just keep in mind we still have this road closure here, Bancroft and Westwood, right near Douglas. So pretty busy area. Drivers in this area, of course, can use Door to get around to this one. And again, City of Toledo says that you can expect these orange barrels to be in place here through the end of the day today. So if you are heading out in the next couple of minutes and you usually take this way to work, you're going to have to find another way. I haven't seen traffic move for a couple of minutes at least. Break the bank at the same time. All right, well, we've had a lot of issues for drivers up in Sylvania Township in Sylvania. Well, I tell you why and how long you can expect that tonight at 5:30.
All right.
Lots of traffic everywhere, really. Not just in Sylvania.
Yeah.
Hey, Heather.
Hi, Jeff. Yeah, you just mentioned those splash pads down here at Promenade Park. We've already got a ton of people out here enjoying those. Also, setup is already underway out here, getting ready for thousands of people to come downtown. So if you head downtown, maybe in the next couple of minutes, you'll be surprised to see not a lot of traffic out here. But of course, that is going to change. Now, if you take a look at the map that we have in our system, the City of Toledo says you're going to be dealing with a couple of closures down here. Of course, we've got the MLK Bridge closing at 9 o'clock tonight to vehicular traffic. Of course, the city says pedestrians will be allowed up on that bridge to watch the fireworks display. Also, Summit Street going to be closed inbound between Cherry and Washington. So that's going to be inbound only. So if you're trying to get out of downtown Toledo during that time, of course, they'll let you out. So again, all of this for the thousands of people expected in downtown Toledo tonight for the 4th and the 419. So be prepared for those. The city says that once the fireworks are over, of course, everything will be back open, but expect a lot of traffic. Make sure you bring your patience with you, because if you've ever been downtown for the fireworks display, of course, you know that it takes a long time to get out. The city also urges drivers, if you're going to be coming down here for the 4th and the 419, park on the side of downtown that you're going to be going to after the fireworks. So if you live on the east side and you're going to be heading back to home afterward, make sure you park on the east side of the river and so forth. Of course, for everything you need to know about all of the closures happening in downtown Toledo tonight, get connected to 13abc.com. That's a check your Contrada Law Time Saver traffic. Now, Fostoria police say in a press release that they haven't officially had an identification on this body. That will come from the Lucas County Coroner's Office. Of course, family members of Quincy Pollauf say that they were the ones that found him, so they know that it was him.
Joe Nugent has your answer on that story tonight on Action News at 6. Heather?
All right, well, you're probably going to want to have a water bottle to pour on yourself just like that. It's going to be hot and it's going to be humid today and tomorrow for your Memorial Day, so just be prepared for that.
Yeah, that milk might curdle at the end of the Indy 500. No. Thanks for...
There she is. Look at all that snow behind you. It's just turned into a winter wonderland.
Oh, yes, a winter wonderland. That's a good way to put it here. About a quarter of an inch of snow on the ground here, and it's actually pretty good packing snow. So.
Now, 13 ABC First Warning Weather with Heather Pollauf.
Well, if you don't want to stay inside, you want to get outside and have some fun, it's not a bad day to do that because we've got that snow falling here. It looks like a winter wonderland out there. 24 degrees for us right now in the Toledo area, and with those winds out of the south from about 8 miles an hour, feels like 15 degrees. So if you're going to head out, whether you're going to try to play in the snow or do whatever you got to do, make sure you grab the layers here. About a quarter of an inch of snow has already fallen for us here, and we're expecting the snow to last for the next couple of hours. Taking a look at Viper right now here, you can see that snow extending all the way back toward Lake Michigan and all the way down through Louisville. And again, this snow going to move through the area here for the next few hours. In fact, it's going to be more widespread for us here once we get into the afternoon hours. So those snow showers sticking around for us here, stopping the clock at 4:30 this afternoon. The majority of us seeing those snow showers. Once we get into the evening hours, though, we're going to start to see that snow moving out. Of course, we'll still have it over here in Fremont, Sandusky, and Norwalk. Still seeing those snow showers, although those won't take very long to get out either. So once we get into the evening and overnight hours, just some of those clouds left over from the system here. Not really seeing anything in terms of snow chances for tomorrow. In terms of snow totals, though, we're going to start to see, again, that snow really piling up again. About a quarter of an inch has already fallen out there. I was just out there a couple of minutes ago. Very good packing snow, though. Good for throwing the snowballs here. Not enough, really, to build a snowman, unfortunately, here. But enough to get some readings here. 3/4 of an inch in Toledo. That's what we're expecting, although closer to an inch here in Wauseon. A little more than half an inch in Napoleon here. Farther south you go, though, the lighter the totals here for us. Findlay, less than half an inch. Over toward Lima, about 1/3 of an inch here. And then take a look, Fremont, Tiffin also seeing about 1/3 of an inch for today. So in terms of the high temperature, 30 degrees again, half an inch to an inch of snow expected. Snow ending by the middle of the afternoon. And then overnight tonight, 20 degrees, cold. And then we do have those clouds sticking around here for us. Tomorrow, 28 degrees, mostly cloudy but dry. Not seeing those snow chances for your Sunday. Things looking nice for us here. But then once we get into the beginning part of the work week, that's when we see those snow chances ramp back up. And those stick around for us here through the end of the work week. But the good news, not seeing any big, well, depending on who you are, I guess. Good news, bad news. Not really seeing a lot of chances for significant accumulations. So if you're looking for maybe any school closings in terms of, you know, a lot of that snowfall.
Not going to happen.
Probably not.
Right.
We'll obviously keep you posted, but I'm not seeing any big snowstorm.
Not a huge storm coming, just lots and lots of flitterings and flutterings of flakes.
Yes, not enough to build a snowman, unfortunately, but watch your back heading to the car, because somebody may throw a snowball. Hey, I don't know.
That seemed like a pretty direct threat. Watch your back while heading to the car in the parking lot at 13 ABC, Tony Geftis. All right, thanks very much.
Frustrating winter has come and gone for Toledo drivers.
Well, you told us where Toledo's meanest streets are, and 13 ABC's Heather Pollauf took that list to city administrators to find out what they're doing to give you a smoother drive. She shares their plans in this special report, all new at 6.
Drivers have dealt with them all over Toledo.
Do I have to say the potholes are bad? Yes, they're the worst I've ever seen.
Toledo's potholes are so bad in some areas that you can't even drive with a steady cup of water in the car, causing serious damage, even sending you out of your way just to avoid them.
I had to get a new rim and a new tire.
That's why I went down Secor.
Really?
Instead of Douglas.
Like sometimes I won't go down that part of Douglas across Lasky because it's so bad, and you can't really like avoid them either because it's right in the middle of the road.
Katie Bingle fears that those potholes in the middle of the road put her and her children's lives in danger.
When people are swerving out of the way and you're trying to still drive as well, and especially on narrow roads where it's 2 lanes and people are trying to avoid that, that makes me nervous because I usually have children in my car, and you know, I just don't want to be sideswiped or anything like that.
Dawn Newbert says she's from Toledo, but frequently drives outside of Ohio. She says she's never seen potholes like these.
Dirt roads. I would compare some of our streets to them.
Yeah, no,
and I drove from here to Florida, so trust me, these are probably the worst potholes I've seen.
You told us that Toledo's meanest streets include Detroit Avenue, the Anthony Wayne Trail, and here at Central and Talmadge. We took that list to the city of Toledo, and they say that the first line of defense, sealing cracks in the pavement.
We're in a cold climate. We have a lot of freeze-thaw cycles. Water gets underneath pavements during freeze-thaw cycles, and it basically pushes the asphalt up, blows potholes in it. Crack sealing ultimately keeps water out of your pavement and reduces potholes.
Once the pothole opens up, it's a fight for funding.
All of our arterials, such as Monroe or Reynolds or Alexis, all of those are actually funded when we do those projects primarily by federal or state funding. So those are competitive, where we go out and put in applications, compete against all of the other municipalities in the county and the region, and we definitely put in more applications trying to get money than we can get funded.
For that reason, the city says that being pothole-free will likely never happen.
We try to get to as many roads as we can. We try and stretch our dollars as far as we can get them. And right now, we just don't have the budget to hit every road. And I don't think that's unusual. I think most cities across the country and through Ohio are experiencing the same thing.
But the city is making the most of the money that they have right now. Stevens says that a 2019 reconstruction project on the Anthony Wayne Trail was actually moved up to this year. And both Detroit Avenue and Alexis Road are on tap to be resurfaced in the next couple of years. The city is already working on busy areas like Central Avenue and Monroe Street. For everywhere else in the city, lots of patience, careful driving, and make sure you're giving those street workers plenty of room. Heather Pollauf, 13 ABC Action News.
Now, the city does factor in the complaints it gets for certain streets, but the decision of where the next patch goes ultimately depends on the condition of the pavement, traffic flow, and funding. To submit a pothole complaint, you can call Engage Toledo 419-936-2020.
A beautiful.
Imagine an adventure that takes you over the trees, giving you an aerial look at giraffes, cheetahs, and zebras.
Well, sounds like something you'd have to travel out of the country to do, but 13 ABC's Heather Pollauf shows us firsthand you can do it right here in Toledo.
Here's this week's You and Toledo Me.
The Toledo Zoo takes you high up on an adventure that not only tests your physical strength, but your mental strength too. It's called the Aerial Adventure Course.
Great option for people to come out and experience our Africa exhibit from a whole new vantage point.
That vantage point from a zip line 80 feet off the ground.
We are going into our third season. Each year we're growing, serving more people, serving more groups, more actual schools and organizations.
The course opened in 2016. Cassie says that there's no age limit, but you do have to weigh between 70 and 250 pounds. And there's something for everyone.
At the minimum, you could just take our bridges, which are pretty sturdy, out there to the zip line back again, see those animals as you zip past them, or you can choose to do the challenge courses.
Those obstacle courses test your fitness, but also your mental strength.
2 challenge towers out there, varying levels of physical requirements for those. And then if you're really adventurous, there's an 80-foot jump out at our big tower, gives you about 30 feet of free fall and catches you and lowers you gently to the ground.
And starting this weekend, you'll be able to do the course any day of the week.
We'll run all the way through Labor Day, then we'll switch back to weekends for the fall, ending in October.
For tickets, hours, and how you can sign up to do the Aerial Adventure Course, get connected to 13abc.com. Heather Pollauf, 13ABC Action News.
All right.
I know, right?
Back on solid ground.
Safe and sound.
Becoming a meteorologist starts with a strong passion for the weather, but it takes years of school to understand the science and to be qualified to do the job. 13 ABC's Heather Pollauf is working toward becoming certified right now. She gives us an in-depth look at the process.
Well, this data might not make sense to you viewers at home, but meteorologists analyze images just like this every day, including when the weather poses life-threatening hazards. Now, what you're looking at is data from the Lake Township tornado that struck in June 2010, and this is the result of what was happening when that data was recorded. Now, the storm killed 7 people and destroyed dozens of buildings, including like high school, and understanding the thermodynamics of storms that day helped 13 ABC's meteorologists track that devastating storm.
Almost anybody can call themselves a weather person.
Meteorologists do more than just present the forecast. Understanding the physics and chemistry of the atmosphere is pivotal to forecasting the weather.
There's this laundry list of courses that any student would have to take to be a meteorologist: the atmospheric chemistry, atmospheric physics, atmospheric dynamics, synoptic meteorology.
It is a lengthy process. It's a several-year program. You can't just go online and and complete a couple, modules and become a meteorologist.
To work as a professional meteorologist, a bachelor's degree is required. But if you already have a degree in another field, you have an online option.
We have students take a couple classes in forecasting and things like satellite and radar interpretation. So we focus on how to use the meteorology information to do forecasts, which is what most students do when they graduate.
Mississippi State University's Broadcast and Operational Meteorology certification fulfills the credentials needed for a seal of approval that many meteorologists strive for. After graduating and passing a written test, a meteorologist gets their seal of approval.
Takes dedication, a lot of smarts as well. And Heather, where do you find the dedication to do this? What's driving you to get certified?
Okay, well, my passion for weather, I've always loved it since I was younger. My gateway storm, I talk about that on our website. But as far as going through the process, it takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication. So working a full-time job and going for the certification, a lot of time is spent on the weekends, after work, stuff like that. So it just takes a lot of dedication, whether you're going for the full degree or you're doing, the Mississippi State classes, especially through Mississippi State Online. Yeah. All of their semesters are back to back to back for 3 years. So
there's really no break.
No break.
It's back to back. It's from one thing to the next.
No, so I'm counting down until August when I graduate.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that. Congratulations early, and we'll see you on TV in the morning with traffic.
Yes.
And you do weather as well here. So thank you so much.
Sure. The job can be tough, answering the call for help, car accidents, sometimes worse. But they answer the call whenever you need them, day or night. There are Toledo police keeping you safe every single day, working through holidays and weekends.
Your experience, your story, your Toledo Me.
I'm Heather Pollauf, and that's my Toledo Me.